We are going to do some practicing with false positives and false negatives on the concept of catching cheaters. Professor Ivy has determined that 2% of students cheat on tests. The Assessment Center has purchased a computer program which claims it can detect cheaters with a 95% accuracy rate. The computer program will give a positive result if it detects cheating and a negative result if it does not. The Assessment Center uses the computer program on 1,000 students. Please fill out the predicted outcomes for the 1,000 students. All right, so we know, right? What do we know? We know 2,000 cheat on tests, and there is a 95% accuracy rate. And we are starting with 1,000 students. Great. Okay, now, if 2% cheat on tests, that means 2% of the 1,000 students are cheaters. Mathematically, 2% is 0.02. Let's multiply that by 1,000, and that means 20 students cheat on the test. Okay, think logically. If we have 1,000 students and 20 of them are cheaters, that means 980 are not cheaters. Okay, great, so far. Love this. This is amazing. I've never had so much fun my whole life. Now we deal with the accuracy rate. We have 20 cheaters. A 95% accuracy rate means that 95% of the 20 will be positive. That's what the accuracy rate means. 0.95 times 20 tells me that 19 of the 20 cheaters will test positive. So that's a 19 test positive. Same concept then that before. If I had 20 cheaters and 19 then tested positive, one of them will test negative, right? That's the student that falls through the cracks, right? The cheater that doesn't get caught. Great. Let's do the same thing for our non-cheaters. That means 95% of the 980 will test negative because they're not cheaters. So the test will show that no, they did not cheat. Great. 0.95 times 980. That means 931 will test negative. Again, I take the 980 non-cheaters, I subtract the 931s that tested negative, and that means that 49 will test positive, which is real sad, but it happens. And then we total up. 19 plus 49 gives me 68 positive tests, and 1 plus 931 gives me 932. Whoa. 2. Oh my gosh. That is horrible. 932. Y'all, writing numbers is hard. 932 will show negative. Great. I love this for all of us. We have now completed our table. Now that we have our table, we can play with it. All right, moving on to some questions. So the computer program says you cheated. Explain to Professor Ivy what the chances that you've been wrongfully accused are. What is this type of test called? All right. To find out about our probability of being wrongfully accused. So you tested positive. So we're looking at the total positive testers and that you cheated. So we're talking about the non-cheaters. So we see that 49 out of 68 gives us a 0.72, which is 72%. That means 72% of positive cases are not cheaters, right? Which to me is a little like, what do you do for these students? Because if I did not cheat and I've been told that I'm a cheater, I'm going to have an issue with that. So we do have to think of those cases as well. Now, what is this called? This is called a false positive. So it's a false positive because you tested positive, but it is in fact false, right? You are not a cheater. Now, our last question here says the director of the assessment center doesn't want to purchase the cheat detector because he thinks 5% of students will get away with cheating. Explain to him that what the probability is that a student who gets a negative test result actually got away with cheating. What is this type of test result called? Okay, so now we're looking at the negative test results. So we're looking at total negative over the cheaters. right? The one that actually cheated. So there's 1 out of 932. So when I divide 1 divided by 932, I get 0.00107, blah, 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 which is roughly 0.1%, right? Because you got to move the decimal 2 places to make it a percent. 0.1% of students are going to get away with cheating. That's it. Like, that show negative. So it's so small. And this is called a false negative because you tested negative, but you're actually a big old cheater. So you can see that the probability of getting of cheaters getting away with it is really small, especially when you compare it to those students who are non-cheaters who are being told that they did cheat. So a little bit different there.